This might be the most pathetic, cowardly, and transparently dishonest response we have ever seen from a sitting president. And that is saying something when the president in question is Donald Trump. The man posted a blatantly racist video on his own account, on his own platform, and when confronted about it, he blamed a staffer, claimed ignorance, and then hid behind Tim Scott. And he refused to apologize. We are going to get into all of it. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way, and it really does mean a lot to me. Now, before we get into the substance of Trump's rambling non-apology, we need some context, because this didn't happen in a vacuum. Donald Trump has a long and well-documented history of racism. This is the same man who in 1989 took out a full-page ad in the New York Times calling for the execution of 5 black teenagers, the Central Park Five, who were later exonerated of the crime they were accused of. This is the man who built his political brand on the racist birther conspiracy, spending years questioning whether Barack Obama was actually born in the United States. This is the man who called African nations a vulgar slur, who told 4 Congress-W women of color to go back to where they came from, and who right now has immigration enforcement operations that critics have compared to authoritarian secret police, pulling people off the streets based on the color of their skin. So when Donald Trump posts a video to Truth Social, his platform, his account with his name on it, that depicts black Americans as apes, understand that this is not some isolated slip-up. This is a pattern, this is a feature, not a bug. And the way he responded to getting caught tells you absolutely everything about who this man is at his core. And that brings us to the press conference, which I want to walk through because it is genuinely something to behold. Let's take a look at what Trump had to say, right here. A reporter asks him about the post, and Trump launches into this stammering, meandering, absolutely incoherent explanation. He says, and I want you to really take this in, that somebody posted something from Stanford, and he saw the beginning and thought it was really, really strong because it was about fraudulent elections. He says he just passed it on, and that probably nobody reviewed the end of it. He calls the racist content a very small part that somebody slipped and missed. A very small part. That's what he's calling a video that depicted black people as monkeys. An oopsie. A little slip. Can you believe this? And then he trots out the imaginary staffer defense. He claims this was a retruth, not done by us, as he puts it, suggesting that some faceless employee just hit the repost button without looking at the content. So, let me get this straight. The President of the United States has someone on payroll whose entire job is to blindly click post on whatever Donald Trump hands them. No questions asked, no review, no vetting whatsoever. And we're supposed to just accept that. Give me a break. There is no staffer. That's Donald Trump playing make-believe for an audience he clearly thinks is made up of either toddlers or adults, so unbelievably gullible that I'm genuinely surprised they haven't wired their collective life savings to a prince in Nigeria. But here's what gives away the whole game. Watch how he talks about it. The stuttering, the circling, the by the way stacked on top of by the way. The way he can't even maintain a single coherent thought. That stammering puddle of a man knows he messed up. He is well aware that there is no winning play for him here. So he tells his little story about the imaginary staffer, but he knows the truth. And he knows that we know the truth. This whole thing is theatre. It's always theatre with this guy. But it didn't stop there. A reporter then asks the simplest question in the world. A number of Republicans are calling on you to apologize. Is that something you're going to do? And of course, Trump says, "No, I didn't make a mistake," he says. And look, nobody, not a single person on this planet who has spent 5 minutes observing Donald Trump expected him to apologize. And there are two reasons for that. First, he is a small, fragile, deeply insecure man who genuinely believes that admitting fault is a sign of weakness, when in reality it's one of the most basic signs of strength and maturity a person can demonstrate. But second, and this is the part that really matters, he's not going to apologize because he is not sorry. He meant it. The racism is not accidental, it's intentional. And refusing to apologize is the most honest thing he's done in weeks. And it only gets worse. Trump then claims that, and I need you to brace yourselves for this one, that the video was a takeoff on The Lion King. The Lion King. Now, I'm a millennial. I have watched The Lion King approximately 1 billion times. I can recite that movie from memory. And I would love for someone, anyone, to tell me which character in The Lion King is an ape, because there isn't one. There are lions, hyenas, a warthog, a meerkat, a mandrill, but no apes. This was not a reference to any Disney movie. This was a racist video depicting Black Americans as monkeys, posted by a man with decades of documented racism and then lied about by that same man because lying is what he does when the truth makes him look bad, which is always. And then, oh, and then comes the moment that truly encapsulates everything. Trump says, "I spoke to Tim Scott. He was great. Tim is a great guy. He understood that 100%. He literally pulled the 'I have a black friend' defense. He got accused of being racist for doing something racist, and his immediate instinct was to hide behind the black guy. And as for Tim Scott, Tim, I need you to hear this. You are watching a white man post a video to millions of people depicting Black Americans as monkeys, and you are providing cover for that. You are being used. Trump does not care about you. You are a tool to him, a shield he pulls out when he gets caught being exactly who everyone knows he is. And the moment you outlive your usefulness, he will do what he does to every single person and toss you aside without a second thought. And I think that is incredibly pathetic. But Trump wasn't done. He doubled down. He declared himself the least racist president ever, and then in the very same breath referred to Barack Obama as Barack Hussein Obama, who comes from Kenya. He is literally being racist while claiming he's not racist. He's deploying the Bertha lie as part of his defense against an accusation of racism. You cannot make this stuff up. The satire writes itself. And then a reporter gives him one last chance. What's your message to the many Americans who were offended by the video? And let's take a look at what he said right here. His response, and this is a direct quote, "I really have no message. I have no message." The President of the United States has nothing to say to the millions of Americans he just dehumanized. Instead, he pivots into a rambling monologue about how America is the hottest country in the world and how the King of Saudi Arabia thinks we're doing great. That's his message to Black Americans who just watched their president share a video depicting them as animals. Saudi Arabia likes us right up there with "I Have a Dream." And I want to take a look at one more thing because even Laura Ingraham seemed genuinely confused by all of this. She pointed out that it's not just Democrats, that Republican senators like Pete Ricketts were saying the president should just come out and apologize and move on. And the White House spokesperson, rather than addressing the question, launched into a 5-minute monologue about murder rates and immigration statistics. A lot of words to avoid a very simple truth that Trump won't apologize because he doesn't think he did anything wrong, because he doesn't like black people. See how much easier that is, Caroline? Just say it. And here's the thing. Let's be very clear about what this moment represents. This is not just about a social media post. This is about what it means when the most powerful person in the world dehumanizes people based on race and then looks into a camera and says he has no message for the people he hurt. This is about every black child who sees the President of the United States depicting people who look like them as less than human. This is about the normalization of cruelty, the weaponization of indifference, and the absolute rot at the center of this presidency. The cruelty is the point, the dehumanization is the point, and the refusal to apologize is the exclamation mark. But I'm actually glad he came out and said all of this because it betrays exactly who he is. Even when the whole entire world can see the truth, he opts to traffic in lies and manipulation and delusion. He is the perfect microcosm of his failing presidency and the bill of goods he's been selling to his supporters from day one. And maybe, just maybe, the sheer brazenness of this lie will finally show at least some people that his only priority is conning the gullible to the point of humiliation. And that's what we're going to continue to call out on this show every single day. If you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video. We are also in a political environment where this administration can lean on social media platforms to suppress voices they don't like. So signing up for the newsletter is a way for me to reach you directly if that ever becomes necessary. I'll put the link right here on the screen. It's free, but there's a paid option if you'd like to support me and the team. And if you stuck around to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. Keep on fighting, y'all. Don't let them silence you. And until next time, I'll see you